Deep within the whispering woods, where sunlight dripped like honey through the leaves, lived a tiny pixie fairy named Lily. Her wings, as delicate as a butterfly's, shimmered with the colors of a rainbow.
I love my forest home. I know every whispering leaf and every sparkling stream.
Lily spent her days flitting among the flowers, her laughter echoing through the trees. She spoke with the birds and danced with the butterflies. The forest animals were her friends, and they loved her gentle ways.
One day, as the sun peeked over the horizon, I perched on a dewdrop-covered leaf and began to sing a song as sweet as the morning dew.
Her voice, clear as a silver bell, floated on the breeze. Far away, beyond the whispering woods, lived a young prince named Alexander. He was kind and brave, with a heart that longed for adventure. One sunny afternoon, Prince Alexander rode his horse through the forest.
Let's stop here by this babbling brook, my friend. You must be thirsty.
As he did, a beautiful song drifted through the trees. He had never heard such a lovely melody. Curiosity bubbled inside him.
What is that enchanting sound? I must find its source.
Alexander dismounted his horse and followed the sound of the voice. The song led him deeper and deeper into the woods. He pushed aside branches and ducked under fallen logs. Finally, he came to a clearing bathed in sunlight. There, perched upon a leaf, he saw her, a tiny, shimmering fairy with wings like rainbows. It was Lily, and she was the source of the enchanting song. Prince Alexander stood mesmerized. He had never seen a fairy before. Lily, unaware of the prince's presence, continued her song. Her voice danced among the flowers, lighter than the flutter of her wings.
Oh, who is that?
As Lily finished her song, she noticed Alexander standing at the edge of the clearing. She gasped and quickly hid behind a large mushroom. Never had a human come so close to her home.
Hello, please don't be afraid. I won't harm you. I was just enchanted by your song.
Lily peeked out from behind the mushroom, her eyes wide with wonder. No human had ever spoken to her so kindly. Hesitantly, Lily emerged from her hiding spot.
My name is Lily. Who are you?
I'm Prince Alexander. It's a pleasure to meet you, Lily.
As they talked, Alexander learned her name and all about her life in the forest. He, in turn, told her about his life in the castle. A friendship began to blossom between them, as magical as the forest itself. Unbeknownst to Lily and Alexander, their friendship did not go unnoticed. Deep within the heart of the whispering woods, in a palace of twisted thorns and shimmering cobwebs, lived the Fairy Queen. The Fairy Queen was known for her beauty and her jealousy. She had ruled the forest for hundreds of years, and she kept a watchful eye on everything that happened within her domain.
How dare a mere pixie fairy befriend a human, especially one as handsome and kind as Prince Alexander?
When she heard of Lily's friendship with a human, a cold fury filled her heart. The Fairy Queen's heart twisted with jealousy. She coveted Lily's beautiful voice and her gentle nature.
I will keep them apart no matter the cost.
The Queen vowed to keep Lily and Alexander apart no matter the cost. That night, as the moon cast long shadows through the trees, the Fairy Queen summoned her spies, a flock of crows with eyes as black as coal.
She whispered her orders to them, her voice like the hiss of a snake.
The crows took flight, their wings beating silently against the night air. They flew to Lily's home, a tiny house nestled in the roots of an ancient oak tree. One by one, the crows whispered the Queen's message to Lily in her dreams. They spoke of a magical flower, blooming deep within the forest, that could grant the sweetest voice in the realm. Lily, ever innocent and trusting, believed the crows' lies. She longed to find the magical flower and share its gift with Alexander. So, before the sun had even begun to rise, Lily set out into the forest, her heart filled with hope and her mind clouded by the Queen's deception. Lily followed the crow's directions deeper and deeper into the forest. She flew past familiar landmarks and into a part of the woods she had never seen before. The trees here were old and gnarled, their branches heavy with moss. Finally, she arrived at a clearing shrouded in mist. In the center bloomed a single flower, its petals shimmering with an unnatural light. It was beautiful, more beautiful than any flower Lily had ever seen. As Lily reached for the flower, a net made of spider silk dropped from the sky, trapping her within its silken threads. She struggled to free herself, but the net held her fast. From the shadows, the Fairy Queen appeared, her eyes gleaming with triumph.
Lily had fallen into her trap.
Meanwhile, Prince Alexander waited for Lily in their usual meeting spot. As the hours passed and Lily didn't appear, a knot of worry tightened in his chest. He knew something was wrong. Just then, one of the Fairy Queen's crows landed on a branch above him. It dropped a tiny crumpled leaf at his feet. Alexander unfolded the leaf and saw a message scrawled in spidery handwriting.
The Fairy Queen has taken Lily captive, the message read. If you ever want to see her again, come alone to the ruins of night.
Alexander didn't hesitate. He knew he had to save Lily, even if it meant facing the fearsome Fairy Queen. He raced back to the castle, saddled his bravest steed, and rode like the wind towards the ruins of night. His heart pounded with a mix of fear and determination. The ruins of night were located in the deepest, darkest part of the Whispering Woods. As Alexander rode through the forest, the trees seemed to reach out with grasping claws, their branches blocking out the sun. Strange creatures with glowing eyes watched him from the shadows. He could hear the whispers of the wind, carrying the Fairy Queen's magic.
Yet I rode on, my resolve never wavering. I knew that Lily needed me, and I would face any danger to save her.
Finally, he arrived at the ruins of night. The ruins were ancient and crumbling, their stones overgrown with moss and ivy. A sense of foreboding hung heavy in the air. Alexander dismounted his horse and cautiously entered the ruins. He drew his sword, its polished surface reflecting the moonlight. He could feel the Fairy Queen's magic all around him, but he couldn't see her.
Lily, where are you?
A soft sob echoed through the ruins. Alexander followed the sound until he came to a dark chamber. There in the center of the room he saw Lily.
Alexander!
She was trapped in a cage made of thorns, her wings drooping with exhaustion. The Fairy Queen stood before her, a cruel smile playing on her lips.
You dare come here, human, you cannot defeat me.
Let her go, Fairy Queen. This has gone on long enough.
The Fairy Queen laughed, a high-pitched sound that echoed through the ruins. She raised her hands and bolts of energy shot towards Alexander. He deflected them with his sword, his heart pounding. The Queen's magic was strong, but so was Alexander's love for Lily.
Singing.
Suddenly, Lily began to sing. Her voice, though filled with sorrow, was strong and clear. It filled the chamber, washing over everything like a warm wave. The Fairy Queen shrieked and covered her ears. Lily's song, filled with the pure love she felt for Alexander and the forest, was powerful magic, stronger than any spell the Queen possessed. The thorns around Lily's cage withered and crumbled, and the cage collapsed. The Fairy Queen, weakened and defeated, fled the ruins. Lily flew into Alexander's arms, her tears of relief mixing with his. They were free. News of the Fairy Queen's defeat spread through the forest like wildfire. The creatures of the woods rejoiced, for Lily and Alexander had freed them from her tyranny.
We did it, Alexander. We're finally free.
Yes, Lily, we are free, and so is the forest.
From that day forward, the Whispering Woods was a place of peace and joy once more. Lily and Alexander continued to meet in their secret clearing, their love for each other growing stronger with each passing day. And so the tale of the Pixie Fairy and the Prince is whispered on the wind, a reminder that even the smallest creature can possess the greatest strength and that love, true love, can conquer all.